Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Factorio. We're going to be doing the Farewell to Version 1 series. But first of all, as per usual, a reminder on what is the, or a note on what is the latest Friday facts, so that anyone catching up on VODs will know exactly where we were in the sequence. So the most recent one was this research info and tooltips and online players GUI. A bit of a small one, a bit of a minor one. I'm not sure you're there, but so Baker Magician joined yesterday, and they pointed out that I didn't prep this on this. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. Where is it? It's the one with the labs. There's a something. Here we go. So I didn't see this at all. But basically, if we zoom right the way in, if we can, why is that not zooming? There we go. We zoom right the way in. Over here, and you probably can't see it. Enhance, yes. Welcome, Senna. That's still too small. You have to get really zoomed in. There's something over here on the far, far right of the image, just above where I got my logo on the string. There's something. And it's basically, it appears to have a light on it, maybe? Now, what it is, it could be anything, really. There's like a power line. You can't even see that. That's so small on the screen. I'm just checking what's coming through on the stream. But there's like a power line connecting, so it could be something related to power or something like that. But I didn't recognise it at all, and they pointed it out. It was something else. So yeah, so maybe there is a little Easter egg there. It could also be, you know, a signal or something like that, you know, like elevated rail signal or something, I don't know. So it's so small. I mean, you can't, I mean, this is at 300% zoom, and you can't really even tell what the heck it is. So yes, there is potentially something there. As to what the heck it would be, I don't know, and whether it is anything real, I also don't know. But yes, back to the game proper. That's coming through. Is that coming through? There we go. Pop that down. I can hear it. Cool. Yes. So, welcome, as I say, Sam. I hope you're having a good day. One of the things I do need to just note is it is very hot in the UK today. I've had the air conditioner on already all morning, and I've turned it off because it's right next to me basically, so it's really loud on the audio. And I have a clipping thing on the audio. It takes the audio out, but when I listened back to it last time it was on, it was really horrible listening to it. So I've turned it off. But if it gets horrendous, I will turn it on for a bit. I'm hoping it won't be, because I've kind of pre-chilled the room, if you see what I mean. So hopefully we won't be too bad. We are at the point, I believe, where we are not far off having robots. Now, we might actually have researched robots, and I've just not made any. We have cargo size, which implies we have done the research. I can't exactly remember where we got to last week. My brain was a bit of a fog after the after the cold, basically. And this morning is the first day I've woken up and felt like I had a cold, if you see what I mean. Okay, so it looks like maybe that's okay. We're doing some exoskeleton-y type researches, aren't we? And what have I got that on for? I think that's to do more of them, isn't it? Basically, so that we can do low density structures and stuff like that. It's a bit. Oh no, I was also going to upgrade the furnaces, wasn't I? So if we let those chug through, that's still not about. Then we'll see where we get to. But have I actually got? I've got modular armor, okay. And have I got? So we've got solar panels, and we have the ability to make personal solar panels. Okay, so we could maybe set up a bit of production for solar panels and possibly accumulators. Where were batteries being made? I remember building them. Here we go. So we've got batteries here, so we could send that kind of over to, coming down here maybe in parallel, so that we could chuck in some accumulators. Accumulators are just batteries plus iron, aren't they? So we could literally just do a little extra bit there rather than bring it all the way down. But did we actually... I don't think we set up any... No, we haven't got any panel production that we can tell. Okay. Okay, let's get ourselves a little bit extended. I guess I should probably check, did I actually set up some actual bot production? Yes, we did. Okay. And we've actually got... Oh, crikey, we've got 50 of them. Nice. Nice. What are you actually waiting on? Robot frames, which are just chugging away. Did I set that on, like... I keep hitting N to try and... and do the, you know, the remote view map thing. But that's not this game. Okay. So... Oh, we've even got a few of them in a chest. Okay. We got really far last week, didn't we? Considering my brain would have been like jelly. Okay. 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 So if we set up some solar panels and some accumulators, then we can both use them, you know, when we kind of get there, as it were, but also do that, and then got all of them. So if we pop in a chest, get a light, oops, light on there. Guess we want a good few stack, maybe 4. Let it chug away. Is it copper? It is copper, green circuits, and steel. So that's over there, isn't it? So copper. In fact, given how slow that's going to be, maybe we double it up. And then we want copper. Cool. That'll chug away a few solar panels. And then if we go up here, just maybe we can just literally slot it into a gap here. You know, maybe we can make some accumulators here. Yes, I like that idea. So we need to bring iron over. That's not a great place to do that. So perhaps there. I didn't really ask yesterday whether you had any strong thoughts on the Friday Fact Center. I think you commented, but I don't know if in fact I think you did say, and I've just forgotten. I've been heavily working on this combat video. It's both a lot closer and still miles away. It's you know, I've done a lot on it. The big thing, it's like, because it's first time using DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing software, which I'm hugely impressed by. Adobe is bobbins in comparison. But I've made a few mistakes, basically, because I don't, you know, obviously don't know what I'm doing. So I've done a few things that have meant I've had to do a lot of stuff like manually, basically, particularly on the green screen stuff. It's proven not quick. I imagine, have we got modules? We have not. Okay. Do have cliff explosives. Have I set them up anywhere? I bet I have. Yeah, we've got them. I've been a good boy and made things as we've gone along. What did we just research? That was advanced circuits, wasn't it? Or one of the... Yeah, it was the blue ones. Okay. So, if we find a little slot somewhere... Because we need acid. But can we just pop somewhere in to make, you know, a stack's worth of blues? Because we've got this here. I can't have acid far away. Acid's going along the top. Okay, that's convenient. So perhaps we maybe sneak something in there. We need to make blue circuits. Like that. Give it plenty of them. Do that. I turn that round. And, oops, have a little extension. And then I can maybe put Not going to put them in a box like that, am I? Just make a stack so we can use it for any personal equipments. I keep dreaming about having hovering warnings and seeing the viewport. It's kind of sweet. Yeah, it's almost going to be I mean, it's not going to be unrecognisable. You know, it's going to be Factorio, but there is an element where it's like it's almost a completely different game. You know. So this is still waiting on there. Okay. I was going to make power armory bits, so we would need steel. What was that? Exoskeleton. Okay. So there we would need engine units, which I think I already picked up. Yeah. So we'd need steel again. So we need lots of steel. Okay. Well, the plan today really is to kind of get the bits and pieces we need so that we can do science then, because I thought we were still working on bots, but looks like we've done that. So we will advance into. So what we get? Maybe a battery. I want roboports really, which needs batteries, which I don't apparently have. Okay. But yeah, we're going to build in a sense, a proper science build, as it were. So not quite so much spaghetti. We'll keep this as like a bit of a make everything for the time being. So we've got a battery. We'll just pop that in now. Okay, and then what else? I guess we should have a shield on standby. We could put some night vision on. Oops. And we want roboport, which is batteries, which is that just there. Perfect. So if we just pin these. Put that one on. The gigantic night vision goggles. I still don't know why they haven't shrunk that. A roboport. Let's just put it on there for the time being. And then we want to fill the rest really with solar panels. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 solar panels we would need. Which we could in theory make, but let us see what we've got down here first. Yeah, I say it's almost going to be like almost unrecognisable, you know, sort of. Don't want to pick them all up. No, let's do it. Okay. You know, so many quality of life improvements. Oh, and then we would need blue circuits. Have we made 10 of them? There is the big question. Can I also get rid of this sulfur? Blue circuits on the we did. I was also going to look at getting rid of those things, wasn't I? It's literally just doing that. So I guess we'll do that upgrade as well. Where did I... Oh, there it is. 15 of them, which should be enough, yeah. So we have our legs. We will put our legs in. Probably won't be able to run all that. Just going to cancel them out. Do that again. Just so I know where everything is really on that. Okay. So we built that. Just done a research. Some power. Should we leave that for a minute, or shall I make modules or get modules running? I think I might do mining prod for a bit, because they're both very, you know, costly, and then we could also maybe, in fact, maybe why don't we do, which is cheaper? Well, that's super cheap, isn't it? So we'll do that one. And then how much are you? You're 200. You're then 250. Level 2 is then 100. So we'll do that one. Oh, and then 150 as well. That's quite cheap, isn't it? Let's ramp up after that then. So that's 150, then it goes, not that expensive, is it? We will then go, in fact, really, I want that as well, but I've not got any things. So that would then be that one. Oh, it's 500. Wait a minute. Getting mixed up. What's that one then? Oh, that's 250, but it's not blue. Okay, that's fine. I guess I could just stick that one. These are just so that it's chugging away with a bit of science while we mess about. Look at the speed boost we've got. Look at that. Pinning modular armor equipment is something I must remember for these. It always annoyed me when I have to take a few moments to find it in the inventory when I change legs into lasers or something. Yeah, I know a lot of people have like fully stacked. It's a bit of a cheat code because you know this. You know that thing of, you know, a chest can have chests in it, so it's like this recursive, you know, infinite, you know, dimensions type of thing. Where you can put stuff in power armor and have it in your inventory. So, you know, you can actually fill it up with stuff, and then it's just in your inventory with that stuff. So it's like a chest with shit stuff in it instead of just a chest. So I know a lot of people do, like they'll have like 3 armors or whatever. One that's all legs, and you know, one that's combat, and one that's building and what have you. But I never bothered faffing about with that sort of stuff. So I was just swapping out. So yeah, I was trying to pin things at the bottom, or you know, filter them so that I can get easy access, basically. Okay, so looks like it's hopefully charging. We might struggle to power all that, but the speed boost we're getting, that's what matters. Okay, so we need to make some steel furnaces, which are stone brick. Okay. And steel, presumably. Where do we want a stack of them? A lot of people swear by them, but I just, you know, I find them a bit pointless, really. I mean, they're not. I mean, it's a good boost in that, but I think part of it as well is the whole thing of, it's like I don't like using burner inserters because you can't upgrade them. They're just a dead end, and I don't like things that dead end. I like upgrading stuff. The blue thing in the inventory, yeah, the filtering. If you have any ready armors, can you switch them and have the batteries charged? No, so it doesn't maintain the charge. It loses the charge. So when you swap them in, it'll have to charge up again. But of course, you don't then have to faff about with. Well, also you've got, as I say, you've effectively hugely increased your storage space. You know, it won't have an inventory in and of itself. You know, it's just the actual space here. But no, it doesn't retain the charge. So yeah, it has to charge up each time. But as I say, it means you don't have to bother with all this, you know, stuff in your inventory. You can just have the bits and pieces there. And of course you can swap between them. You know, you can move if you actually want a mixed, you know, contents. Then you can fiddle about with that. Why are you not? Oh, who's the idiot? You know, so you can give yourself a bit of an easier time there, but no, it's it does not retain the charge. I don't think I ever tried it, but it seemed like a good idea if batteries kept charged. Now, as I say, they're doomed, I'm afraid. I guess they figured that one out. It's because of how it's coded. I think it's just a sort of a reflection of why are you not running? Because there's no copper at all. And is that because... see, this is where we need to get them. Now, did I grab... I did grab the cliff explosives. Okay. Let us delete this cliff. Cliff explosives always seemed like a sort of tacit admission that actually, while they look pretty, cliffs were always a pain in the bum. kind of the devs basically admitting to that, in my opinion. Okay, so we can add more here. How about we build it in? So how many have we got? We've got 24. Would that not mean if I upgraded them to steel, that would be enough? Because it's 48, isn't it? Okay, so I don't need to bother with that then. So we can instead think about chopping it off. This is a mess though, isn't it? Look at that. Then there's very little iron ore coming in there. Are we not? Yeah, I was going to say, are we not training it yet? I don't know if that's our first train, is it? I don't know why that one has got slightly more. I guess because it's taking it from that side of the belt. This is preferentially going that way, isn't it? I'm preferentially taking that. Yeah, so it's just not, which is kind of what I was expecting when I put it in. Not really enough. Like that. Which is fine. Okay, let's go see how many things we've got. So yeah, it's sort of doing steel as an overflow, isn't it, really? And then I say I've got this absolutely bonkers thing here. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't know why I did this bit. We'll blame that on the fever. So yeah, preferentially take there, but this is like the overflow. If it doesn't need iron, send it for steel. Okay, that's fine. Oops. So again, a bit of steel coming in there. Okay, I think that's kind of... I need to rework that really, don't I? But let's see how many steel furnaces we've got. Actually, I also want to check pollution. Because we did have a... Oh, look, we've got a couple of lads down there might be problematic. I don't suppose... No evidence of attacks. Okay. I imagine them worms are getting very, very angry at all the pollution. Okay. Right, let's go grab these steel furnaces. We'll upgrade what we've got, and then we'll think about... in fact, I could put some solar in as well, couldn't I? Just a little bit. Yep, got a full stack. Need more than that in there. Let's see if we can't plop some solar in as well. Oh, we've got a stack of them as well. Crikey. These, oops. Question really is whether I can never remember whether the regular inserters can keep up with these. You know, without any stack bonuses. I think it should be okay. So yeah, we've now got full lane basically. Not a lot far off. So if we do the same over here. And we will also biddly bob. Need that one, please. Get rid of. No. Why have they got so many grenades? Well then. Yes. Oh, that didn't even have actually insert or something. Interesting. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that should fill up our yellow belts. So we do... How many have we got left? Can't see them. There they are. I've got 2. Okay. How about while it chugs away making a few more, we perhaps think about maybe sort of chopping this off so they don't... Yeah, maybe do that like that. So it'll use up that iron and then I can come and sort of properly redo it. Let's go and get some more furnaces. I'd be interested to see the pollution on the map if you put T3 efficiency modules in everything. I never even used one. I should hope some more important pollution mechanic is present on one of the new mechanics. Well, I think an important use case for efficiency modules is going to be platforms. I think they get a real home there. You know, that's sort of particularly if you're doing quality. You know, I think that's almost a no-brainer to put them on there. But yes, it is a sort of a... They're actually really good in miners, and it's actually kind of almost the intention. Chest. It's like the intention for you to put them in miners to a degree when you look at the maths on it, because miners have a huge, like, passive power draw and a huge amount of pollution that they make, and they're very power hungry as well, just full stop. So that then, because you get this double effect with efficiency modules, is in that they make the machine more efficient. So, you know, it is drawing less power, because they also, don't they do... I can never remember. They reduce the pollution directly as well, don't they? As like yourself, I basically never put them in a machine. It's more because of the production thing of them. Decreases machine energy consumption, minimum energy consumption 20%. And of course, pollution is linked to energy, isn't it? Am I right with that? No, it doesn't say that. Anyway, as well as actually, because it reduces your power demand. So if you're running on coal, then it's actually hugely reducing the amount of coal you're burning. And so particularly early game, you know, it both means you don't have to make as much power. You don't need as many machines. But also the amount of pollution they pump out is usually reduced. And then if you think, right, well, you know, put a bit of solar in, which is what I should do, isn't it? Put a bit of solar in here. Then, you know, that's free power that doesn't have any pollution cost. So yeah, they're actually, I say, quite good in miners. But have I ever done that? Have I? Have I heck? I did actually think about doing, I was going to do, like, I was going to call it efficient megabase. And slightly, you know, being facetious, because it wouldn't be efficient in the sense of, like, UPS or something. It'd be efficient in the sense of I've forgotten how many I put in the sense it would use efficiency modules like everywhere. And the sort of idea was almost, can you run a mega base on a single small nuclear power plant, you know, rather than... Oh, my phone is going. It's just a spam call. One more to make it 25. Cool. Oh. Why did you... Cool. And then... Slightly more than 25 because they're smaller. Yeah. A few easily. Yeah, so I was going to do say almost sort of sarcastic series of sort of like efficient mega base. Oops. There we go. A little bit of solar. Get these replaced. When I have modules in any usable quantity, I already have immense power production with nuclear. I thought about it once though, yeah. I mean, I say, early game, they're actually fairly good in the sense of it's not a... You know, it can be a big help when you do the maths on it, but it's the production thing to me. It's always the sort of... And that's always the problem on a lot of modules, really. You know, when you... And it's why I never bothered with them when I first started playing, because I was like, well, this seems incredibly difficult to produce, and what does it do? It makes a machine slightly faster. Okay, well, basically everything I'm making, am I really fussed about it being faster? Or, you know, or productivity, and I didn't really even get what productivity meant, if I'm totally honest. I can chuck these in the steel, actually. Yeah, you know, what did that mean? It's a very odd concept to get free stuff, essentially, out of nothing. But yeah, it was always the cost of making them. It's like, well, why would I invest all of these resources in making these modules when I can just build another machine, you know? Because fundamentally, if your thing is, well, I need more miners, just build another machine, an assembly machine making miners. That's all you really need. You don't really need to put speed modules in it, you know? And so you sort of couldn't really see what they were for. Obviously later on when I worked the game out and stuff, I understood that it's about reducing the amount of resources in and all that sort of stuff. But I was sort of like, well, why would I bother? And then there's one that just says, you know, reduces the power demand. Well, I could just put another one of them in, couldn't I? It doesn't really sound like it's all that useful. But yeah, the cost benefit is there. It's a little marginal with efficiency modules, basically. So copper is not running fully because we've not quite got enough copper. And we do have a great big patch knocking about. So how about... Yeah, I picked up one there. Effectively, let's do this bottom end then. I thought they were 30. Oh, of course I picked them up, haven't I? So. Oops. I got somewhere. Okay. Right, let's sort this steel out of it. Yes, you can put efficiency modules in beacons, I believe. Pretty sure you can do that. In fact, I think they've shown that on platforms, because it means you can just have the one beacon. Because obviously beacons, that's also one of the weird things with them, specifically for efficiency ones, because, you know, how to phrase it? Beacons increase power demand. So if you put an efficiency module in a beacon, it's like, what is it actually doing? You know, is it making it, you know, still inefficient, more efficient with power? Or is it actually using more power in order to be less efficient? It's a bit sort of mind breaky, basically. But yeah, particularly, I mean, certainly when we get the whole quality thing, it's going to be way more advantageous to start using them. Okay, so if we do a little copy. And then we need to, okay, how many we got? So that's 16. So if I was to take it up to, oops, so that would be 20, 24, okay. But yes, you can put them in beacons, it's just, it's a little complicated to work out what it achieves in a sense. Because you get a thing that increases the power demand that then is reducing the power demand. Cool. Let's start putting them. So how many have I got? I've got 28. Let's do these ones. Not quite do a side, but oh. There's no point doing any others. Let's go and get a load more. So I wouldn't normally do this, but making tier 1 modules cheaper could be nice. I never touched them until endgame because of their cost, as you mentioned. Yeah, so it is worth using them. But more, if you kind of quicken the game, as it were, if you're not, then they're more useful in a sense for newer players. It's one of the slightly weird things with it, because, as I say, they are actually better in a sense if if you're going to take your time over things. Which you would expect, a new player to be doing. However, when you unlock them, when you get them, they seem very expensive, and so it's easy to be like, well, why would I spend all the resources doing that? get myself confused there, aren't I? So I don't really need a path there, I guess. Don't cross over. Let's just pop a path in. Get ourselves ready to build here as well. Spacing. Yeah, particularly like intermediates and stuff, you know, getting free green circuits and free gears and stuff is actually good, but it can feel a bit not good, if you see what I mean. Or like, why would you bother, sort of thing. That's why I'm anticipating setting up, actually. Making some modules, but getting distracted by... And putting them in science is always usually useful. Now, what was I doing? I was doing these guys. I only made 29. Okay. Crikey. Another bot. Right. Have you played any multiplayer with many players? If players have followed some interface convention for trains, it could work quite well, I think. How do you mean? So, yes, I mean, I played multiplayer, not with a lot of people. This particular friend I played mostly with, so, you know, one friend, as it were. A lot of my friends just aren't into this this game or even this type of game. I don't know what you mean by... Oh, 1-2-1. Yes, you have to... I mean, you have to agree on that sort of thing. Yeah, you can't really... I mean, I have a set of blueprints that we tended to use the most, which is just my one... The one, you know, I'm not going to use them in this, but the 1-4-1 blueprint set is the one I mostly kind of use. You kind of have to agree on that sort of thing. You can't really... It just doesn't work if you kind of, in a sense, arguing about what trains you're going to have. I've only got 13 more, haven't I? So we probably want to do something where we push them more towards the beginning. And I'll just fill the rest out with stone ones, even though they can't really fill them up. I do say down to there, maybe. Gonna need a lot of inserters as well. Forgot about them. Okay, so that's too many. So if we do oops as well. The top end is, the bottom end is steel furnaces, which are kind of quicker, so they should be eating all the stuff. Is what I'm thinking now. Good, see what's going on here. So much smoke. What have I got in? Oh, they should be alive. I think that might have all of them. Let's have a quick look with our deconstruction plan. Are we missing it? We're missing 2 furnaces. Yeah. There we go. That's easy. Yeah, you have to agree on a train system that you're all gonna use basically, because it's also, I mean, the more, I'll be honest, I mean, different sizes of trains actually doesn't necessarily cause a problem, because obviously if they fit down a system, and whoever's building a 141, will probably build both ends 141. They're not going to go and set up a load of furnaces and then, or a load of mining outposts, and then send them to somebody else's, iron production. So you can work independently, but the most important thing is the drive side. So if it left-hand drive or right-hand drive, because if you can't basically operate those on the same network. You can operate, let's say, differently sized trains. You have to be careful, obviously, that you don't, say, set up a drop-off that is accepting the wrong size of train. But you can do that just by changing station names, It's fairly easy to do. But the big thing is the left-hand drive, right-hand drive. If one of you's doing one and one's doing the other, then you need to operate them as completely separate systems. Because otherwise, what you effectively end up with is 2 bi-directional tracks. So your left track and your right track end up both being bi-directional, which if that's not a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is. We are doing in our current playthrough, one side of the base has ended up as left-hand drive, and the other side is right-hand drive. But the 2 systems are not linked in any way. We are kind of just, dividing the base in 2. Essentially, the left side is power production, so it's a whole load of solar panels, and the right is, this isn't going. It needs blowing yellow science. No wonder it was so cheap. So yeah, let's pop on modules, I guess stack inserters, so we can start doing stack bonuses as well. In fact, let's actually think about doing the modules so that we can build them, and then we can put them in our laboratories when we make them. We might just put a bit of lab production on the go as well. Cool. We're doing quite well. Amazed we haven't been having more biter attacks. I don't know if they've been coming over here and causing problems. No. I don't know if there's a little crop of trees there, which I don't know if that's because this is like a tiny amount of pollution and it's just absorbing that. But these guys don't seem to be getting hit very much. So the other thing I would like to set up is Coverx, really. Uranium mining, so that I can do Coverx when we get round to it. I think that's a little bit off though, isn't it? Uranium processing. So we need concrete, which is super expensive, and then we could do that one. So we're not that far off. Yes, we might chop that off. I'm not going to put uranium on, but we'll put it on at the end. How much are you? You're 200, are you? Crikey. Cargo size. In fact, that's sort of irrelevant, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll get the modules. I can build them. Have we made any more? Okay. 10. That would get us not very much. We don't have the iron ore to support it anyway, so well, we've got a couple of juicy patches, but really it's about this one not being enough, as it were. I mean, we are getting plenty, you know, a good trickle of steel, considering it only gets it so often. So I think I'm okay with that for now. Cool. Okay. So next we want modules. Was there anything else we built that we should really set up? Can't see anything. Did I grab bots? I don't think I grabbed bots, did I? Oh, I did. Okay, so I got bots. But I haven't put the thing in. Okay. No worries. So we've got accumulators being made. Got the labs. Okay. So there's nothing else, is there? Just waiting on modules. Okay. Having trains landing on the left-hand side feels like heresy, but I'd still be willing to be friends. How do you watch this stream then? Because I'm a left-hand drive. I mean, one of the reasons we've used my trains so much is that I'm not. I have tried to do right-hand drive systems and just can't because I've been driving for the last 30 years. It's so ingrained in my head how what side of the road, as it were, things should be in, that it's a massive struggle for me not to, to basically go against that. It's almost like you're sort of deliberately asking me if I want to crash. It's like it's that sort of scale of thing in my head. And yeah, it is just something I've so struggled with so much. And I say this series, I mean, and even I'm setting up lots of builds and stuff. Particularly working on kind of smelting and stuff, because we're going to try and do megabase-ish scale. And because the hope was to get there before space age. I don't think we'll make that though. So we've been planning on, well, what do we do when space age hits? But I have I've set up loads of mining and stuff, and then done the trains, and then like 20 minutes later looking at it to see, well, why aren't these trains moving around? What's going on? And I've hooked up the lines completely the wrong way round, because I just, as I say, it's just such a struggle for me to think, well, no, actually it's that way round, not this way round. I just can't sort of go against my instincts in a way. Okay, so that's fine. Because what we could do, I mean, modules is working away now, so we could set them up before we go, but we could then look at doing actual sort of train builds and stuff. How we're going to lay things out. I could make some. I don't suppose I'm making labs, am I? I did actually wonder about it, because I think I've said on here a few times now, but I'm not almost certainly. Kind of depends. It's looking actually like I don't know, why did I get them? I could possibly be able to stream Space Age when it comes out, but basically my job is going to get in the way, is the problem. It's literally a couple of days after it comes out, I have a deadline that I can't miss, basically. But as it's turning out, we may not have much we're putting in for that deadline. And if I can get things sorted out, I might be able to take the days. I'd already taken them. I'd already booked the holiday, and then I had to move it. So it might be that I could maybe get the days off. The point basically is, at the moment, I'm not going to be able to live stream you know, the game when it comes out, essentially. Just maybe an hour in the evening, just as almost as a token thing. But that means I can't really dedicate a lot of time to it. So I did wonder about maybe doing a multiplayer, you know, hosting one, and then, you know, people could join, basically. I'd have to start using Discord, though, and I don't know, I think I'm going to struggle with that, because I just, I don't put any effort into it at all. So we've now got a full stack of them. I don't suppose it's worth replacing them, is it? No, we get so little iron comes through. It's like the poor cousin, basically, of everything else. So, let us set up, if we go there maybe. Can you get that across? So we could get one in there. Okay, let us start setting up some modules. Can't do it here though, can I? Because I need reds. That's annoying. Could I? It's a long way to divert them over, isn't it? I'm making reds there. I am sending them there. So we could maybe steal some. Take them down on a separate belt here. Get them on that side maybe. It's a long way to send them. But yeah, it's fine. Let's do. Would that work? What then? I just closed my eyes. Oh. You can always imagine that I flipped it over, but I'm actually like playing the game back to front or something. I think you said that left-handed is standard for trains in the world. Maybe I'll even spice up my life in SA and try it. I believe so. Yeah, that's my understanding. Is that you know, even the American system is left-hand drive, and it is sort of a part of it is to do with because when countries convert from one side to the other with their roads, that's obviously them. There'll be a border, you know, between two countries, and so you can manage, you know, traffic, as it were, in the sense of if it's going from a left-hand drive to a right-hand drive country, or vice versa. You know, you can actually have a thing in you know, that controls that essentially. But with trains, you can't really do that. There is a place, I believe, in the world, I think, between Russia and Europe, because I think they use a different side. I forget now, basically. But that basically you just have to. Everyone has to do the same thing, because otherwise you can't have train. No, that's a gauge thing. That's a size of a train team. So maybe. Oh, what have I done now? Oh, why is that not? Oh, I need to dig into there. And they actually, what they do in that, it's weird. They actually replace the trains essentially. So they, you know, take the the carriage part of it off and switch it over onto a new gauge. But basically, everyone has to use the same size as trains, because it's just such a, you know, you can't really have trains moving onto the other side of the track. And it's like, how would you do a crossover? You know, if I'm on the right-hand side and I wanted to be on the left-hand side, I'd need to cross over for trains coming the other way. And therefore, how do you manage that? You know, you would have to have maybe a single piece of track that's both ways. And you're just literally talking recipe for disaster stuff, you know. It's I think I'm going to do an output priority left just to make sure I need more bots. It's covered. Oh, bots have been doing some work, filling things up here. Is that the inventory? Okay, so they've got red circuits coming down. That's all 3 modules now. But yeah, so you kind of end up having to standardize, because I believe and this may be one of those apocryphal things that it's not really true, but it was that it was Napoleon that kind of switched Europe, and then everywhere he invaded over onto the right hand side. So that might be one of those myths, that it's not actually true. Because the origin of it is basically horses. You passed on the left-hand side because you're where your sword arm is, basically, because then you can reach down to your side and attack. Basically, it's a drawing out. Most people are right-handed, so your scabbard for your sword is on your left-hand hip, and you reach across and do it, and therefore you can kind of defend yourself if someone attacks you. That's sort of the origin for it, I believe. Again, that's probably could well be an apocryphal thing. It's not actually true, but I believe that's where it comes from. I mean, it got to be true to a degree, because even if you take the sort of sword and that side out of it, you've got, if you're on a wagon, and it's pulling a thing, and you've got horses or cattle pulling the wagon, you can have your whip in your right hand, and so kind of passing on that side makes a bit more sense. But yeah, so I believe that's where it kind of comes from. Don't know why I'm putting speed modules on there. That speed fast inserters. It's a waste of power. Let's do a stack of them. We'll give them a go. We'll give them a use. See what we can. I'll just teach the train drivers to dodge each other and go with mixed directions. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of places that do have mixed track, so it's not, they aren't insolvable problems. It's just the logistics of it is a bit of a nightmare, and for what gain, in a sense, Right, so got modules on the go. We've got stack inserters getting ready. I could set up, as I say, we could build some labs here. I don't think I'm making labs. Labby. No, okay. Because we're going to want quite a few, so might as well automate it. That's the name of the game, after all. They're relatively quick. And then it's gears. Oh, it needs blooming. Then in fact, let's rethink it together. Get the power there. So we go to and we make you be them. There. It's a little bit tidier. Like so. Labs. Where's it gone? Yes. Okay, so that's iron and gears. Doot. I guess we could do. And your gears and green circuits. Okay. Fascinating. Circuits. Let's do a couple of stacks, I guess. Just let it chug away. We're quite hungry, aren't they? And not slow to make, so maybe we'll double that up. Where I live, we basically only have one track most of the way around here. I think we have 1 to 2 places where there are 2 track sections to pass each. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a it's a fairly common thing. Really depends on the volume of trains. It's not not necessarily a blocker in the way that I described, but yeah. So the complexity comes when you're having to do that in cities and high throughput areas, and particularly where you have very large freight wagons. You know, if you've got a freight wagon, I mean, if you think about, I don't know if you've ever seen these trains they have in Australia, where they are kilometres long. You know, they're just full of ore and, you know, rocks and all this type of stuff, processing. And imagine you're waiting. You know, you've got to go on the other side of the track, as it were, so you've got to do your crossover. So there's one, you know, a 5 kilometre long train passing through. Not the highest throughput situation. Okay, I think we are getting to a stage where I'm happy with what we've got set up. We've got the stacks, okay. Am I going to build them? Nah, I don't think so. I think we'll leave them. I'll make them if I need them. We'll get a lab research on the go. Can we queue up a bit more research? We've got that one. Cargo size. Now, we want these types of ones. I've only done the one. Crikey. I mean, they don't require military, do they? So how about we put them on? I know I was going to do... Let's do concrete and uranium. In the combat video, one of the things I didn't know is that, so the follower robot count, this one here basically. So when you get defenders, they are a single defender capsule basically. Maximum following robots +4, and what that actually does is that enables you to use destroyer bots, because when you launch destroyers, they actually have 5 robots in a capsule. So what I've done to record the footage is I've cheated and, you know, used the editor and launched in destroyer capture and just added destroyer captures to my inventory. And then I was recording the footage of putting them out. And there's 5 when you say you drop one of the capsules and 5 robots appear. And immediately 4 of them would just blow up and drop to the ground. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And when you do that first destroyer run, in fact, I thought it was the first follower research one, but it's actually the actual destroyer research by the looks of things. So defender research rather. It adds the 4. So at the start of the game, weirdly, your follower robot count is 1, okay, for some reason, and that allows you to do 1 defender capsule. But it also gives you a research, and that's why I thought it was on the follower count, because it gives you the ability to support 5 destroyer capsules. Isn't that a bit weird? Why doesn't the follower count start at 5, and then this adds more, basically? Because basically, I say this is giving you the ability to support destroyer robots, which are a later research anyway. You know, this could have added on more follower count or what have you. Isn't that a bit strange as a design thing? Because it's basically saying as soon as you get that research, your follower robot count increases, but it means you can have follower robot count of 1 to start with, or that you've got that. It's like, why would it be 1? I say it's sort of a strange thing. I say I was throwing these capsules out, and the other one, what they call the middle one, the distractor, and that's 3, and 2 of them were just dropping out the air as well. Okay, so enough fiddling about. We're not making as much progress today as we did last week. What I need to do then is look about setting stuff up, really, and kind of planning things out. So we've got some nice copper there. We have copper here. Do I want to use that copper? What is it? 2.5 and 4. I think we're going to ignore these copper patches and probably this coal. We might use that for the military. I think we'll probably basically ignore this copper. Because what I'm thinking is we need to essentially work out almost like a bus style, I think. And we sort of say, right, well, this is where we're building science, and then we'll feed stuff in and kind of just build, what we need to as we go. This patch of trees is really inconveniently placed. So yeah, if we put the labs here basically, and then just sort of feed things up to red and green science and what have you, then say we'll have to take out these trees. I could probably rework that rail with very little problem. And then we could have maybe the trains delivering stuff here. And maybe bring in processed iron ore, processed copper and that sort of thing. Processed iron ore. Iron plate and copper plate. This is quite weird. Do these fly out and attack mobs? I never used those either. Yeah, I mean, so basically, I haven't done the research, so I can't even build one. But yeah, they're like what when you throw a capsule or a grenade or anything like that, it flies out. Well, when it lands, it basically spawns a bot, and what it does is it follows you around. Well, I mean, watch my video. Basically, I've ended up explaining all the current combat mechanics, but there's actually 3 types of robot: destroyer, distractor, and defender, and they're done like upgrades. So they're done like level 1, level 2, level 3, but they have different functions. So the defender, which is your first bot, is a gun-based. So it uses AP ammo, and it'll follow you around and shoot things basically that get close to it. Distractors just sit there. So they have lasers, even though you don't build them with lasers. They have lasers on them, and they actually just hover. So you can. In fact, that was wrong. They didn't blow up because they're not. They don't follow you, so they're not part of your follow account. So you can throw as many of those down as you want, and they spawn 3. So a defender spawns 1. So watch the video when it comes out. And then the distractor spawns 3, and they just sit there. So what you can do is you can basically run up if you want to use bots. You can run up. Maybe you have a couple of with you defenders, around you to help you, but then you can just throw in next to a nest, a bunch of distractors, and it will fire out. And you can fire, as I say, as many as you want because they don't follow you. And then they'll just attack everything that comes near. The final one, the destroyer, spawns 5 bots, so that goes up to 5, and they have discharge defense, so they have little laser guns on them basically, and they're really, really powerful, and they are followers, so they flow after you, and there's a real art to using them, because they have huge lag. So basically, if it's following you, if I'm here and I've got a bot here, then as I run, it won't actually start moving until it gets a certain distance away, and so it will lag behind, and it will lag out to sort of there. Well, that's probably a bit far, but there-ish. And when I stop, it will then shoot forward, but it will keep going. So one of the tricks to them, and what makes them quite difficult, is that you basically kind of have to learn to slingshot them. So you have to run up, turn around, and they'll slingshot into whatever you want to attack. Because otherwise they're behind you. So the biters run in, and if you're running along, they're behind you. The other thing that makes them really rubbish, in my opinion, is that they have a very short lifetime. I think it's 2 minutes, something like that. So you throw these things out, and 2 minutes later they're destroyed. You know, because they just die, basically. There's no, you know, no finesse to it at all. They just disappear. And so they're quite, I mean, in terms of resources, because you're effectively saying that rather than, you know, do a grenade or something like that, I'm going to spend all my resources doing these capsules. But you don't get them back, you know. It's not like a turret where, you know, it's permanently there unless it gets destroyed. So they're really expensive when you really think about it. That's the other reason I don't bother with them. But yeah, I say they are powerful. It's just, it's an area of the game, and I say this in the video, where it's like it feels half-assed. It feels like they didn't quite, you know, they got certain point with it and then just decided they weren't going to bother, and they just left it then, you know. They just sort of gone, right, well, there you go. If you want to use them, you can use them, but you know, we're not really going to bother supporting it. Oh, you're going that way, are you? I guess that counts as quicker. Yeah, so this gives us a little bit more space. Gonna move that up a bit, really, couldn't I? In fact, maybe I should have diagonal it. I should have diagonal it. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like there's a weird. There was actually, if you go way back, there's a Friday Facts where they kind of talk about it, what they were planning with their overhauls, because they had. It's very apparent that they had like quite a few good ideas, and then never really, you know, they sort of put them in and then kind of, you know, ended up not really doing anything, because combat isn't, you know, focus for the game at all, really. So it's like, how much effort do you expend, you know, doing combat stuff if then you basically turn around and go, well, just slap a load of turrets down, you know. So yeah, there was I do remember a Friday Facts where that say they sort of talked about balancing it and tweaking it and improving it, and they did sort of end up with a, we don't want to take these things out of the game, but we, you know, kind of acknowledge that really stick a load of turrets in is like the only real kind of proper tactic, really. I think part of it, you know, the problem with it is the production challenge of it, because it's like, why bother setting this up if I don't know whether it works? If I know turrets, you know, work, and I know how to do turret creep, why not just build those things? Why build poison capsules and slow down capsules and robots and, you know. It's like cluster grenades. Cluster grenades are a really weird thing in the game. It's like almost completely pointless. Okay, so that's lab research 2. Concrete's already on there. Just stick landfill in if it gets to that point. How much are you? 250. Okay. So yeah, let's go and see. I don't know why I didn't hop in my car. In fact, we got a tank as well. Crikey. So, let's kind of start with the labs. And I guess think about fitting rail in as well. Because what I'm thinking is I basically drop off processed, as I say, iron plate, copper plate, that sort of thing. Let us. Do I? Yeah, okay, cool. What am I looking for? I'm looking for those labs that I've just made. At the end. Cool. 20 labs. Nice. Okay. So let's think about laying this out, please. Getting me tank this time. Did I ever make any more lanes? Nice. Think about. We've got them cliffs there, so it wouldn't kind of be a nice distance away from them, really. That's true. So if we ended up with some rail lines here. Would that work? So I'm thinking 111. I think I'm just going to go 111. Nice and simple, nice and small, nice and easy to signal. Could probably do with it being a bit further over, I think, maybe. So reversal of. Let's do it that way. There, maybe. Yeah, that'd work. Okay. Oops. So if these were 111 type arrangements. Okay. Probably won't do it like that. I'll probably end up doing it as a big roundabout or something, but I'm not entirely sure whether I'll be coming up or down, really. This was the type of size of thing. And we will want the stations. Would that work? Looks like that's probably going to be a bit too close. So if you were there, there, we could have a bit of room for signal. That'd be okay. And then, don't know, let's unload it. Let's unload it in the inside so that it's a bit off as well. There. And then whatever that is. So if that was a drop off for, let's say, something. That we could put the next one So that's the sort of size of it. If it was there. We have signal. No. It's because they're ambiguous, basically, as to which piece they're on. So it needs to be down a bit. Is the point? So it needs to be there. I'm going to turn my bots on. Oh, I can't turn my bots on. I can't turn my bots on. I haven't got it in the inventory. Do that, instantly lose all my power. But horribly slow bots. See? Loses the ambiguity. I could try and do right-hand drive train on this as well, if you like. So no. I think that might slow me down a bit, but give it a go. Okay. Let's put, since I'm sticking things in, I don't really want biters chewing on randomly. We'll just put a little bit of APM in. Which, it turns out, another thing I discovered, it's not called APM. I'm pretty sure at some point it was called arm-piercing ammo. But it's actually just piercing ammo. So I'm pretty sure that was part of their whole tidying up thing they did. Where they were like, right, well, we need to make sure this is all consistent and sensible. Yeah, the basic idea would then be these feed down to whatever they are. So I'll just kind of drop things off. You know, I'll just add trains as I need more materials and different materials. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So the difficulty with that is going to be how much space do I allow on this side? Because, you know, if I put this too close, then you know, the actual build, it's going to all going to get in the way. But as it happens, having done like a billion of these things, bussy type things, kind of know about leaving a good space. And of course, this is process stuff. So you know, if I'm adding more, another iron plate train, it's probably because I've run out of iron plate. So I just augment the line really. So if we add, and how much space have I left there? Just randomly put belts on for no apparent reason. And that should be there. So that would be 1, 2. So then that would be, we'll do it that sort of length, I think. Which means our actual science needs to come down in that direction. We'll allow some lanes for that. And so our labs can be built from here. But I don't really want them there. Biter piercing ammo sounds correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that, you know, I don't know why they stopped. I mean, I guess because the biters aren't technically armored. You know, they have armor, I guess, but they're not armored in the sense of having steel, you know, steel armor sort of thing. So I don't know if they changed it for that reason. But there's lots of weird naming things, and again, this is all in the video, and such, which is why it's top of mind, really. But there's it's like, and I know this is one of Baker Magician's favourite ones. It's like they're called missiles. They're called rockets in the game, but they're not really rockets. And we've got other rockets, meaning from rocketry. You know, the weapons, the rocket weapons. You know, And I think it's because the science is called rocketry, which makes sense because you'd make that's how you get, to rockets basically. You have to do explosive rocketries and then the old rocket silos sort of thing. Or did they change that? They changed that actually, didn't they? You don't need to do those sciences anymore. You need rocket fuel. But the actual, because that's why I think it's a broken naming convention, because basically your rocket silo, which is a rocket, you used to have to do, I'm pretty sure, explosive rocketry, because it meant, I might be getting all mixed up with this, it meant that you had to do some military science. You couldn't avoid military science. And, by taking this into a separate path so that it's just what it calls rockets that you make with the rocketry technology, that then means, it's locked. It's safe for you not to make any military science if you're playing passive, basically. And I'm pretty sure you used to need explosive rocketry to do the rocket silo. I may be completely mixed up with that, but yeah, it means that this is now a rocket where you don't do rocketry research. But when you do rocketry research, you get rockets that are actually missiles. Yeah? These aren't really rockets because they're guided, so they're missiles. So you end up with this bonkers naming thing where, as I say, you're making rockets, but you don't need rocketry, and you're making, I say it just goes a bit like nonsense in a sense. Hello, Mia. How you doing? Hello. I will be making potato bread at the moment. Oh, lovely. So I will still be. I was chatting this today. I'm sorry. There's no worries. Aren't those rockets? Yeah, they're rockets, but they're not. They're not rockets. They're. As I say, it's all a bit wonky, the naming thing when you get to that. And I say it's because it used to be more dependency in it. It used to be that missile. Well, what it's easier to think of as missiles, and rockets shared more of a sort of construction path, basically, technology path. Sorry. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I kind of hate doing the whole read through labs thing. I don't really know why people do it. So instead, I'll do my really standard thing. Middle. Now I get to a stage where. So we've got 4 at the moment. So we do them. Do I actually want to put them on the bottom? And then it'll make my job slightly easier with the purple and stuff. So we'll bring them on those lanes. So we'll make that the red and green production, science production. So we want labs. Proper turret in. Okay, so they are guided, then I agree. Yeah, I say it's and it's it's an artifact of the fact that you needed. It was all rocketry, At one point, it was all rocketry, so it didn't in a sense make any difference. But now you have these odd naming things where you don't need to research rocketry in order to build a rocket. I say that sort of stuff never really. It's only occurred to me that because, say, doing this video, I've been looking at what everything's called. A lot of things I think probably changed in that when they did that overhaul of the whole system. But I never stopped calling them what I used to call them. Right, so I think we're getting there in concept. So what we want to do then, really, is be feeding this with iron and copper and stuff. Am I going to build out... Because now the question is power. Where do I put power in? We have some nice, fairly convenient spaces that we won't be using. So we could start putting some solar panel things in there. We should have plenty of it now. In fact, it stopped building. We've got 200 solar panels. And 150 accumulators. Look at that. Amazing. I think we'll double this up. Because this is only 50 and 50. In fact, actually, we should be able to support 3 rows there. Cool. But yeah, we'll think about using this for solar panels, I think. What are we doing at time? 4:30. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to need to set up actual, like mining areas. But of course, as I say, we've got a nice little iron ore patch there, which I can kind of feed in relatively easy just from going along the top there. But we need to smelt it somewhere, is the thing. So, do we set up a bit of iron and copper smelting here? Or do we locate it somewhere else? Because weirdly, we've not really... We've revealed lots of copper patches. But not that many iron patches. Which is a bit strange. Yeah, the ones that we've got are quite close to our base. Maybe we should have a skirt round and see. Because I'm happy with the oil. Happy with the uranium. Copper we seem to be drowning in. Not keen on the iron. Look at that, 10 million. Nice. So how about we have a little tweak around. I wonder if maybe... That's what I can do. I should have put these as chests, shouldn't I, really? And then we could, oops, I do that. And then I could maybe see about hooking this up to bots, essentially. So if we got one in there, and then where could we connect? Because that's sort of, we've got them there. Those be connected? So it's just below the radar, just above the radar. So I think those would be connected. I don't imagine. I think I've got a... Because I've not actually got... Yeah, these aren't... So these aren't in storage chests, so I can't get the bots to do things. Okay. Best laid plans are mice and men and all that. But I can't actually get them to do that, can I? So, we need to head over there, build these in kind of manually. Anyway, I've left some turrets here, so fighters are going to come and chew on anything then. And it'll be colonisation groups anyway, which will be pathetic at this stage. Oh, this seems slow. So yeah, we'll put these roboports in. Swap out the chests so that we can build them all in. Now if I put you on, do it for me. It should be in the logistics area, doesn't it? Would that fit? Yeah, that'd be okay. Yeah, there's one coming. Thank you kindly. Cool, so they'll trickle in some stuff there. I am going to go and put a little brake on the coal power plant. Oops. Okay, so now we hook this up. Say if A is less than 215. So what that does, if you've never done anything like that, this has a default signal of A for accumulator. And it's reading the charge level, and basically this is saying, right, don't turn on until the charge goes below 15%. And you can do this nicely because all accumulators and all solar panels are treated as one entity if they're on the same network. So this accumulator is exactly the same charge level as all of these. So all the medium power poles need to be in a chest, don't they? We can do that automatically now. In fact, what coverage have I got then? Just wondering whether I could do a replace on all of them. I wonder if we can put them there. Because I can actually fit in. Where's the chest? The chests are there. So we do that. There obviously aren't very many bots in this system at all, so. And then there. And there maybe? And then we can do a global replace. Don't know that we've got this many though. How many is that? So we would need 70. Okay, let's do it. But I'm going to have to make some more, I think. We need actual chests, okay. In fact, that one doesn't really need to be a... Oh, it won't undo it with it. Oh, that's a storage. Put that in there. Okay. Yeah, so the question really is about finding iron, because I'm happy with these, and we could set up a little production, smelting area there, right next to that one. Or maybe in there, and then it can use those two. But it's right near it, right nice and close. We've got stone right there, coal right there. Fairly big petrobiters, so it might be tricky, but... Yeah. I mean, how close are we to making electric furnaces viable? No, I don't think so. Okay. I think what I'm going to do then, although I've done the plan for the trains, or a plan for the trains, I think I'm actually going to do local smelting still, and we can use this stuff, do a little smelting area there, and just feed the science locally, and maybe use that oil for the blue science. Yeah, we're going to do it all via belt. Maybe. How are we actually doing on? What's the situation? So we have 3 meg of solar. We're quite a long way off being able to support on solar, aren't we? I've been a bit premature in putting them in. But we could just do... because they'll do these in random order, because they always do. So if we put the medium power poles in... Oh, it's already done. Okay. I guess I could go and do them. Okay. This just means anything they build would be connected now. I think I'm going to put in another of them. And then squeeze something in there. Them in. Oops. So that gets us a bit more solar queued up. We'll add some more bots to the network. Just a little bit quicker. I think I'm gonna... Oh, you're doing it. Cool. So we had another 50. Oh, look. 100 of them as well. Nice. How many have we got in total there? 75. Cool. Wait, did I only have 27 bots in? Okay. How are we doing? So we're starting to form a bit of a network there. Now get some actual Roboport action. They'll stop doing this in 2.0. This whole, oh, we're all queuing up at the same Roboport. We'll start, you know, using some of the other Roboports. Okay, so they'll chug away at that. Am I going to just use belts? So let's set the actual science production up. I'm quite keen to take this out, so that because it's like quite a drain on the main production. What we can also do then, of course, is start using modules. Yeah, we'll just do the actual science production. So we want loads of belts, basically. I guess inserters, if I grab a stack of them. Where are the belts? Oh, top. Right. So, loads of belts. Splitters. Okay. I'll do. So if we're building the actual science, and I can work out where things need to go, because so I'm thinking about this as more temporary than anything else, which not ideal really. Should probably build it all in with trains, kind of ready to scale up really. Let's see. It's about how much I can be bothered. It's just a shame we didn't find a nice iron patch. Is it worth maybe skirting around, finding one? No. Not yet anyway. Okay, usual pattern then. So now we will start doing it at ratio. And I guess if we do on there. Oh, I got all the uranium stuff. Excellent. Okay, we'll get some centrifuges I'll build then, and concrete as well. What was I doing? Red science then. So we need a one doing gears. Actual science up the middle. And then therefore this needs to be our first lane coming out of somewhere. The iron. Yeah. What other buffs can we do? It'd be good to do military ones, but I can't because I haven't got any packs. I guess I could do them, couldn't I? Because they don't need military science. Well, we could just chug away on that for a bit. Or just leave it. Let's do proper power armor then. After that, I think I'm going to leave it. Yeah, so this would be iron ore, presumably coming from that train. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Although I could make that copper, actually. Have iron ore there. That's not really how I do it, is it? So, let's see, we make these be kind of the first ones, then actually we could just have this one unloading on this, not flip. So one of those is iron, one of those is copper. I think kind of need to move this down. Put it there. Right. Yeah. And we can split off whichever one we want. And the other one on the other side. Now we can bring that round, so maybe underground it round there. So this would be the copper. It's got your iron gear wheels there, you've got your thingy there. These are then grabbing. And there. Cool. Okay. So basically this train needs to be station. But this one will be an iron plate drop off. Oops. Then, oh, did I put that on 0? I did. Yeah. So, that. But this will be later. Oh. Okay. So then, for green science, we'll punt it up a bit, because what I'll do is I'll make both of those here. Oops. In fact, let's make them that. And then I guess. So we've got that one and that one. We both need gears. Both need iron plate? Yeah. Guess that can be the green circuits. Direct feeding on that one. What am I trying to do there? So that would be a mixed line, isn't it? So we have... I guess I could do it that way. So there'd then be iron plate. Coming up that line. Output that way. That then gives you... So we need copper there. But that needs iron plate as well. That one needs copper. Not the most elegant of solutions, but there you go. Right. Actually, that would be this time. And then we need iron coming there. That. Decks, let's put that down. Pop you under there. Like so. An output. Cool. Oops. Green sites. No. So hopefully that might work. I don't know the maths. By the time taken, as it were. Speed works from that, but it's not going to be far off. So we then need to get rid of this. These should really be speedy boys. No. Ah, proper power. Nice. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to make that because you need, blue circuit. Blue circuits I haven't got. But we've got a bunch that should be in a chest back home. Okay. Okay. Pop some turrets around. Spoil the party for the biters if they decide to pay us a visit. Next one then would be military and blue. Now, military. Hungry stuff, hungry stuff. Okay. So if we built them based on the crafting time, although that's 10 seconds, you get 2, so crafting time is effectively 5 seconds. But if we do based on the maybe we try and do rather basic on production times of the actual ingredients for this one. It makes a bit more sense. So actually it says a bit like a room. Oh. Okay. So if I was to try so I have 2 of them say on that side, one on this. I'm thinking maybe walls, because walls are really quick to make if we can feed them with stone brick. It's only half a second crafting time, so we kind of don't need to worry about, you know, massive production there, but it'd be good to have spare, as it were, spare capacity. So if I built 5 machines, in theory it would require, because it would be, well, it requires 2 science packs every, 2 walls every 2 seconds, which is way easy for 1 machine to produce. And would give us some excess, basically. So we could basically put this here. That way. So this could make us walls, and when it's not busy filling the belt, you can just chuck them in a chest. Chuck them in a chest. Chuck them in a chest. So that then though means that our second station is gonna need to be, that's the now, should have banked it. We'll take, that's a blueprint. No, I need a book, don't I? Crikey, ages since I did one of them. Cool. So, if this was, it needs that gap, doesn't it? If it was there, we could have it come out the other side as well. Don't build them bots, that's the bit I need you to take away. Like that. And then they're going down that way. I took away my indicator, didn't I? I don't know whether those were the top or the bottom of the line. Let's say it was the bottom. So then that's coming that way, does that make sense? So this then needs to be a stone brick drop off. One here, are they? One there. Cool. And then set the limit. Excellent. So that'll make us some of them. But I haven't put lights on. Not that it matters because nothing's powered. But gotta have your lights on. Okay. Oops. So they both need to be grabbing there and putting out there. Okay. And then take that. Goes on one side of that belt. So, next question then is what we're making next. I guess if we made piercing ammo, maybe? Where did I put that? That needs to be... Oh, I can never remember the numbers on piercing ammo. It's like 1 to 3 or something, isn't it? So it takes... Okay, because we only need... But to support... We've got 5 machines. So... They'll be producing 2 each, so it'd be effectively 1 a second. But in order to support 5 machines, every 2 seconds we need 1 piercing ammo. And they only take... They take 3 seconds to craft. So... Could we support 3 machines? So we'd need 5 copper, 1 piercing. It's there 1 second. So one of those can feed 3 of those. That is also iron plate as well, isn't it? So maybe we could double that up with the, or marry that up with the... Because this would then give us 1 a second. Wait, did I? Because we need to feed that with stuff as well. Would that work? So these are outputting... Oops. Then. Then we can have the... Would that make sense? So, because what I could do, I can put it on about here, maybe. Because we want steel really coming that way. Steel and copper combined line. And then the actual magazines could go that way. Magazines. Because they're just iron plate. And granatas. What's the math on them? So they're 1 every 2 seconds, but they take a whopping 8 seconds to make. So we need at least 4. Probably need more so that we can bank them. And I guess that could then be, because it's coal as well. Yeah. That could then be a mixed coal and iron line. I think the maths is okay on that. And I mean, I could I? Would that work? Because that's on the inside there, so we could bring them across, couldn't we? Which way am I doing my undies? I'm doing my undies that way. Okay. So if I did, oops, undo there. That's just a local delivery. Then, I mean, actually, could I? Because that needs that fairly quickly, doesn't it? So, I was thinking maybe if I punt this one back. Oops. And then those are long-handed. I don't know why I'm putting fasts in there. Just getting into that habit again. And then this is the grenades coming out. I can just go on there. So that needs to be a mixed line. We have iron plate as our bottom one, don't we? So next one is probably going to be steel. I wonder if I should maybe just overlap them. Depends on what I do with the signalling, really. Yeah, so that's probably going to be steel, I would guess. Let's make a couple of stations. Oh, I didn't want you to do that. In fact, I don't take that part of it out anyway. Hope we get the ability to edit blueprints, like properly edited. We should probably end up just playing the entire game, messing about with blueprints. Because that then should be aligned with that one. Oh no, that was iron though, wasn't? That's not. That's okay. Not iron. So what did I need here? I needed copper and steel. Okay. Right. So really, I'm going to have a backwards one, aren't I? That's annoying. I guess I could take it up and over. Oh. Oh wow. What's wow? I was surprised they did not add the feature to edit blueprints more in the Blueprint Friday facts. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just too difficult to do or something. But it just seemed a bit of a mission, really. So we can take that over to there. Well, that's not actually where it needs to go, is it? It needs to be on one side. Right, so it's that one that's copper. So that's half and half. If that's steel, and then except should really take steel down. Taking it down, steel. Doing a bus to avoid spaghetti and just sticking in a load of spaghetti. You go over there. No. Yes? No. If it needs to, if it's one over, can I split it then? Yeah. But yeah. Right, so that'll be the steel coming in. Boop, boop. Steel drop. We're making a lot of work for ourselves. We're gonna have to fill all of these up with stuff. Coal. We need coal as well. So that there is going to be iron plate on one side. And we need coal on the other. Now that means putting another one of these in. I didn't put the turret in it, didn't I? So get one up there. And there, somewhere there. I guess I can put that on that side. So I have to have one going backwards for a bit, but I mean, I guess the question with that one, I mean, I could put it on the other end, because what else am I going to use coal for, really? And we could have a bit of coal power here, just as almost as a backup thing. Yeah, I think we won't have that be coal, so I can just kind of take that off. And instead, we'll have a kind of coal line going that way. So then first train actually where would that be? Because that's the end of the curve. So it goes to the end of the curve, one, and then the next curve. So it goes end of the curve, one, and then the next curve. So this wants to be, yeah. And this will be coal drop. Running out of stuff. That's better. I didn't put any turrets around this, did I? In fact, let's not lose our bots. Oh, out of research as well. Crikey. So, the other thing we do need to do is have some way of collecting these. And then I guess that would be grenades, maybe. And that's, well, oops. There are magazines. Oops. Sorry. There they go. About that. Okay, so that'd be copper. That'd be steel. Do. It's an unfortunate bout. Okay. Put some turrets around this. How are we doing on time? Oh, fine. Okay, anytime. One there. It's just precautionary, obviously, isn't it? No actual threat from biters just yet, but you never know. The old grippy monsters. It's a new Alien film coming in. Looks like it's a proper horror film as well. Okay, how much rail have I got on me? Yeah. Probably fill most of this in. And I appear to have deleted that. Yeah, because I don't know what that is. It'll be some oil product. Plastic, probably. No. Just going to leave them as this, but it will probably be a different arrangement when I decide. Now we're doing the trains. Ow. At the end, I haven't done. But then we'll dash along with the bots on to see if I've missed anything. What could also do, I guess. Come on, there we go. Let's put some refueling on, because, yeah, I guess. I don't know, am I going to do bot refueling? Could just take a belt up, couldn't I, for the time being, just to make sure they've got coal in and stuff. So yeah, we'll put it in as a chesticle, I guess. That all of them are going to be in the way then, aren't they? Yeah. Oh no, there's that. We can still power that. So if we do that. And just do a little kink there. For that one. Sure that won't come back to wet me. Or do I just do belt? That's going to be a pain in the posterior to sort out. Just going to leave that part of it. I'll come back to it later. But yeah, so this is our kind of initial setup for doing more production scale, more serious production scale science for red, green, and military. Obviously, blue is an expert blue Requires oil, so it all gets a bit complicated. But what we need to do now is actually hook up actual resources to make it all work. And since I've been putting the trains in, it would make most sense to stick it on trains, I think. But let's head back to the base first. Do like restocking and etc. Because we built some things, so I guess we should finish off by doing them. Redundancy structures. Mark II batteries. Power armors. All sorts of fun things. Oops. What are we doing on power anyway? So there's not quite enough to run, well, not a long way actually. We are nowhere near running our base on solar. Can we easily slot some more in? Not there. Could. Don't suppose this would fit in here, would it? Okay, yeah. It will. How do I hook it up? So let's put that close enough there that it will fit. And then we need some more bot connection. So that should take us close to being powering this whole area with solar, which is good. Okay, let's go down, do a little bit of a restock, because we used up all our ammo. So let's get some more. And while we're doing it, we can set the recipes. Power piles. They're dead for now. Not going to do any of them, but we can put some more wood in. Chests, always worth having, just so you can blow stuff up. Splitters, underground rather. Splitters. Oh. And then splitters. And a bunch of the old belt. Then we got boilers. Where are you? I always forget where power is. There it is, boilers. And out furnaces. Now, are we going to take them? Or are we going to... I guess, really, we should be going with steel furnaces. I won't have very many of them. Let's go with... We'll just grab a stack of furnaces. We can fill them in later. And then we want steam engines. Inserters, we would definitely have a stack of them and double it up. Miners, we want loads of them. Regular inserters, never hurts at this stage. Long-handed, which we seem to have more of for some reason. It's fine. I'm sure that's okay. And steel chests, lights. Pair packs, which should be on my already have them, yeah, there we go. Now we've got shotgun shells. Let's just grab them then. And turrets. Used a few of them, haven't I? Yep. Have to put some walls in at some point. Bit of the old stone wall. Powerhouse now then. Yes, please. Big ones. And rail. Yeah. Plenty of rail, because that's what we're going to do next, really. Signals. Am I going to do a proper signal? I didn't put that filter under there. I guess I should do a proper rail system. Tanks. Fluid wagons. Them. Regular assembly machines. 2 ones, which we should have loads of. Engines. Do I have any engines? Yes, I've got loads. Okay. Flame turrets. Good old green wire. Oh, you've not got any power. Good wire we've already got. Your filter on. Solar panels, good. Here we go. Steel furnaces. Cool. Labs, I think we're happy with what we've got for now. Yeah, we're actually gonna shut that off. Probably that's all the lab we'll ever need. Got your modules. Oh, I didn't put modules in the build, did I? Let's take some of them as well. Efficiencies. I guess we can start putting them in miners. If we're going to do that. Cool. I think I'm going to get rid of some of that junk there. Let's go and have a look at what we can pick up from here. So I'm not really planning on doing any kind of more research unless I kind of have to. Until we've got the next one up and running, really. Probably, in fact, maybe I say that, but maybe I should do the damages because we're bound to start annoying the natives. We can do them without military science, you see. So that's a nice thing to do. But next we'll be into utility science and all that sort of magic. What I didn't do, I should have done, is set up like concrete production and that. I'm better off doing that up here, I should expect, where we have free and easy access to all this, see? This is why we went and got that iron patch. It's all dead. It's all dead. It can be all dead. To the extent we're not actually even producing steel anymore, because it's all going into the iron. Crikey. Marvellous. What was I going to do? I was going to produce some concrete. Which was iron ore and stone brick, you see. So, if there's a nice little place here... Is there a nice... Maybe we could slot it in there. That work? So we put one there. That then gets stone brick. I can make that get... in fact, if I put that there... Don't pick up a stone. That's refined concrete. Why have I selected that? Then that can... Oops, that can be the... Now, where are we going to get water from? All the way over there. Okay. Oh, we've got a little patch there. Someone just told me to preheat my oven to 450 degrees and stick my cold cast iron into the preheated oven. I don't know how to respond other than internally scream. I'm afraid I'm afraid that a bit lost on me there. I assume, is a cold cast iron one of those old school ones? I know that irons used to be... You used to actually have to heat the iron like on a fire, didn't you? You know, back in the day. I'm afraid I've only ever used electric iron basically. When I went to university, it's very apparent. So my parents have always kind of driven for a degree of self-sufficiency for their kids. They're sort of, you know, we were doing domestics and chores and that sort of things when most of our friends didn't even know those things, you know, were things that they needed to do at some point in their life. Where's centrifuge? There it is. What else you need? Red circuits and gears and all sorts of magical things. Okay. But yeah, there were all sorts of things where people would come to me, you know, I'd get a knock on my door in the dorms and it was like, how do you do this? Because they just never had to, and the parents had just, you know, kind of just left them be, as it were. Weird how you get, you know, sort of like all the tropes in a sense of, you know, who does the domestic stuff, you know, because basically the mums were just looking after them, you know. We should expect, you know, since it's what their mums are supposed to do, but I don't know, never teaching them how to use a washing machine and stuff seems a bit too far the other way. So it's just literally just to make a few centrifuges. This is not like a proper scale production. But don't you need like you need like 1 million of everything is the other. So we would need hundreds of each of iron gears and steel plate. Okay. Yes, one of those beautiful heavy irons items I love them. They make such a good crust on bread. I use it on the kitchen in camping. Oh, you mean iron as in stick with cold cast iron would be one. I thought you meant iron as in ironing clothes. I would say the same thing applies, really. I guess it's the same point, isn't it? The thing. But I can confirm that doing household things is a great idea for children. I was one that never did any, so I know that they otherwise lack in skills, etc. Yeah. I say, you know, just simple things like, let's say, loading a washing machine and all sorts of stuff like that, where they just didn't have a clue. Yeah, the space is really quite dependent on that small trickle of iron coming from the thing. Wish I'd set it up properly now as a two-way. two-way thing, because we've got plenty of iron sat there. Iron ore. Just not got the throughput coming through here. I could maybe double-side it, but the problem, as I say, is more to do with the transit time of this. Oh, well. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be reducing a lot of demand on it in a bit. I could always hook it into the main system as well, given we've nearly used up that iron patch, for example. What was I going to do then? I was going to grab gears, which we got. Can I grab more? Not really. And these don't have things on, do they? Because I forgot to do that. Just top them off. Needed steel as well, but it doesn't have yet. Filter on it. If steel would entirely normally be up there, so don't need steel. What we need is red circuits. Could be. Let's grab a bunch of them. What else? I did some researches as well, didn't I? And I'm not taking advantage. So steel processing units. I bet we've got a stack of them. We have. Battery 2s would require a lot of things. I've got one there, haven't I? So I could take that. Then isn't it like 10 or something utterly bonkers? It's 10 personal batteries. Good Lord in heaven above. Okay, we'll just make a power armor then, but I need a bunch of steel. Lost the steel. So now we're up to power armor. Haven't had any real use for the modular armor. My mother refused to teach me to cook. I was allowed to bake until she got mad that everything I made came out good. I was in charge of laundry and sweeping. Yeah, right. That reason was very unexpected. I mean, there was also an element for me personally of like just wanting to do the individual things. You know, I've always been very kind of independent in a way, so I don't know that there wasn't an element at least of, well, I want to do this, you know, not just taking it on because the right thing to do, as it were. So, oh, we haven't even made a centrifuge, you see, because it's just so much stuff. And I don't think there's enough to do even more than one. So, instead of that, how about we just stick a bit of concrete in the old box here. Because everyone loves a bit of concrete. Yeah, you see, we're not even close to doing a second one. Oh well. I mean, you know, I only need a couple chugging away doing uranium processing, so it's not like it's a major issue. And plus, I'd have to get sulfuric acid over there. What we're going to do next? We've got 10 minutes left. Mm. 10 minutes left. How about we... How about we what? Let's get some more steel furnaces then. I just think I might, maybe if I design a rail system for a couple of minutes. Now, why did I put that in the end? It's not hooked up to power, you see. I just realised if I do bi-directional trains, I could create a much smaller outpost. The defence of that outpost would be, would have to be a lot smaller than what I have done so far. Building the first outpost and oil have been my biggest gripes. Are you relatively new to the game then, Senna? I'd sort of been assuming you... or do you mean just as a general thing, the first ones are always the worst ones type of thing? Just phrasing that just confused me a little bit. So use less materials and resources. That sounds like a win. Around 400 hours, okay. Definitely not new then. Yeah, the first outpost is in each save. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I was used to, I did a few streams basically where I was building my blueprints library, and I'm deliberately not using them here, but I always used to build everything fresh, from scratch, because designing was the thing I enjoyed doing, which was always true. But I did the Mega Base series. The first thing I ever streamed was this gigantic Mega Base series, and it was very apparent that it was taking me ages to win the game, basically. And it was like, well, if I ever do another Mega Base, oh look, we're actually running on solar-ish, because we're not got enough accumulators, but not far off. Cool. That if I wanted to do another series, and that, this was way before I even thought that there might be an expansion. Within any period of time where I'd be doing that, as it were. That makes sense. Yeah. I say it was just sort of blatantly obvious that it was taking me so long to just win the game, that when I got into the Mega Base bit, I was already 30 streams in or something. I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was just well, I'm almost fed up of this now, and so that's why I sort of did that series with the blueprints, because one of the things, it's always also a bit of a lie in a sense to myself, because I'm basically going, oh yeah, well I like to build fresh every time and design every time, and then I'd build exactly the same thing over and over again, so it was the exact same design. I would just build it new and blueprint it. So I do now have, if we get to a point where I need to rush finish it, then these are my template ones, and they do have a 141 rail system in, which it turns out doesn't work as 141, but 111 trains run perfectly on it. So yeah, so we'll do a little bit of rail design, I think. So part of this whole series is meant to be kind of doing the builds again, as it were. Now, is that offset properly? Okay, so that's our straight rail. Oops, messed that up. No, that's a book, not a thing. There we go. Yep, the button's right now. So that's our straight rail. Okay, pop that in. And then I guess we want a corner. Actually, I should snap that to grid, really, shouldn't I? And then we want to 30. I think that's right. Oh, that's absolute grid, isn't it? People do that. I never really liked the whole chunk of line thing. This is relative, not absolute, really. Okay. Oops. Was that aligned? Yeah. And then I guess we want the corner. So if I was trying to make those be like that, then I would want the corner. Are we doing T junctions and all that sort of stuff? Because it's usually best. Let's just have them as, this is a corner rather than works as a T-junction type corner. So if we were to do it as there, where would it want to be? That would need to be. So if that's that one. Should be it. That. Wait, is that right? It's there. Oops. Is that the middle? No, that's the middle. Where's the middle? Is that the middle? Not really, but it'll do. It'll do. So if that's like that, then what corner can't I do? Because I can turn. I need exact. Because that gets me a right turn. So I think because it's rotationally symmetric, we're okay. Oh, hello. Oh. Ah, dear. Having a few of them, aren't we? The old band baits. It's only how I've practiced good enough in Factorio, because this has been my biggest issue at work software. I'll be honest. I mean, that tends to be how I play. You know, I don't. I'm not gonna pretend you know, I'm not. It sounds like you're very similar in a way to me. I mean, that was kind of how I coded as well. Like you say, it's sort of. It was always just right. Well, if it works, it works. It's, you know, that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be the world's greatest piece of code. If it works, it works. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to think, because rotational symmetry sometimes breaks my head. But I think that gets us, just a single curve gets us everything, doesn't it? Because of how I've done them, I think we're okay no matter what, as it were. Because if I want to turn right, then that's just, you know, rotate it round and it does the same job. Yeah, because it's just a curve, it's fine. Because the signals is obviously what knackers you up with this. It's not really the, you know, thing. So I guess then if we do like a T-type junction, it would end up something like that. But we need to bring. Oh, that's annoying. It's just like one, because we can't go there. Okay, let's do. Where do I? Let's put the signals on it first, I guess. Okay, so I've done left-hand drive by instant. I was saying, well, we'll do right-hand drive, and I haven't done it, have I? I've gone straight into left-hand drive just because it's my instinct. I just can't. I just say my brain doesn't compute that other people drive on, you know, the other side of the road, sort of thing. It's just not true for me. It's 6 o'clock anyway, so I guess we'll leave it there. Right. Yes. Schedule. That's it for today, and that's it for this week as well. We will be back next week, and we will be doing exactly the same. We'll be playing SpaceX on the Saturday. I really need to move the spaceship basically, because I can't really see how a stream would work if I spend 3 hours and 20 minutes flying back in a spaceship. So if I'm going to use that spaceship, which I don't think I can, because I don't see how I'm going to refuel it without the technologies. So I guess it'd be nice to at least have it back at Nauvis orbit, so that if I do get to that stage, we'll have at least one that we could, copy and paste or something. But yeah, I don't really see that as being a kind of practical thing. Either that, or I'd just leave it there. I could nab what stuff's in it. Well, I can't really with the emergency burn. I can't really take a lot of stuff back. But yeah, so we have some dilemma. I have to do some stream, because the reason that's potentially an issue is because I'm not convinced I'm going to get this combat video done anytime soon. So I suspect I'll be doing that in the evenings for this next week. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up going up maybe on Friday. Maybe I do it as if it was the Friday Fact or something. I'm completely losing the point. Thank you for the stream. Have a beautiful evening, and you as well, Mia. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm getting myself all mixed up. Basically, that's it for today. That's it for this week. We will be back with exactly the same SpaceX and this Farewell to Version 1 series on Saturday and Sunday, as the schedule shows. No plans for changes there. If you want to catch up with this series, if you're new to today, you want to catch up with this series, or you want to watch any of my other series, I've got loads and loads of VODs on my YouTube channel, which is in the link there, which is basically just Triggles. Excuse me, you can find me on YouTube. And there are loads of series. So there's these two, SpaceX and the Farewell to Version 1, but there's also a Mega Base series. There's a series where I built a load of blueprints that I've been using a lot. An aesthetic series where I tried to make pretty bases. Those last two will pick up as series once I'm familiar with Space Age, once it comes out. But then there's also a No Spoon run. What else have I done? So there's the Mega Base one. What was it? Oh, well, there's Bob's, Angels, Crashtorio 2. So loads of Factorio if you want some background. But also then a whole bunch of building and management related games. So there's a Satisfactory playthrough where I got annoyed and stopped. And then there's Tectonica. And then there's 3 series of Dyson Sphere program. I'm not going to be doing any Satisfactory when it comes out. It's only a month away before that comes out. But I think I get lost in the noise of the big streamers, so I'm not actually going to stream that. May play it personally. Tectonica is meant to have a big update. Might do a series of that at some point over Christmas. And then I suspect Dyson Sphere program is going to get its second part of its combat update. Let's hope it's not as rubbish as the first combat update. I still like that game and I'll still play it, but if the combat isn't any good, I'll just play without combat. What's the other thing? Yes, so on my YouTube channel as well, the other thing I usually promote is that every Friday I do a read through analysis and speculation about the Friday Facts that comes out. I try to go like the opposite in a sense to a lot of the YouTubers who do summary videos or very short or just their opinions. I deep dive into all the mechanics and try and explain things where I know bits and pieces about like programming or game design and stuff like that. And then also I do a whole big section on speculating about what it all means. What does this mean for the actual space age? What else are we revealing? If there's Easter eggs, what are those about? That sort of thing. So they tend to be really, in-depth videos. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, then you can find a big old list of those on my channel. They're an enormous amount of fun to do. I really do enjoy them, and people seem to like them as well. If there's any consolation, I'd like to watch you play Satisfactory. Well, there is a series of VODs on there if you wanted to dip into that. So I would quite like to give it another go, but I just found, and it's actually something they're fixing just to keep going for another period. But one of the problems with I found it is it's like it requires you to do a mega base basically, because in order to do the final tier of the space elevator, it's like really big scale. Numbers are just off the charts. And in order to build them, you've got to then build a whole load of machines at enormous scale. And that's fine, but it's really hard to do in Satisfactory. In even with its blueprint system, and this was where I got annoyed, and that's why I stopped, because the blueprint system came in and it was just bobbins. It was just like you could put four machines in it, and you couldn't connect pipes, and you couldn't connect rail, and you couldn't do this, and you couldn't do that. And it's like, no, that's not a solution to the problem. If you want us to do massive scale, you need to give us the tools. But I think from what I've seen on the videos, they're actually fixing that, and it's not actually going to be such big scale to do the final stages of the elevator. And so if it isn't, and it's much more sensible, then I think I'd enjoy it a lot more. I mean, the other option with multiplayer, you could do, and this was my kind of comment on it. It felt like the game was multiplayer focused, that actually their intention was you would have your friends in, and one of you would go and make this factory, and one makes that factory, and then it's all being done in parallel. So I'll have to see how it is, and I'm sure I'll play it in my what spare time I have. But it's just I wasn't going to stream it and compete with your big streamers, the guys who do that full time. So yeah, that was the only reason. Yes. So Friday Facts videos, I say, if you're interested in any of those, you can find those there. If you've checked out any of my videos, these Friday Facts videos, or check them out now and you like it, a subscribe would really be appreciated over in YouTube. The thresholds for getting like monetization and memberships and all that sort of stuff are really high. And people do seem to really like the videos and stuff, but then I don't have very many subscribers, so I'm trying to get a push for, if you like them, if you see them in your feed and you watch them and what have you, then do give us a subscribe, because it really does help out. So yeah, so that's it for me. Was there anything else? No, I need to tell you all about my holiday plan and what I will be doing over that, but that's off in September, so we'll give that a couple of weeks. But yes, so if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.